You know the Olympic rings, right? 5 rings. But did you know each ring represents a continent? 5 rings, 5 continents. But wait, aren't there 7 continents? So what happened to the other 2? Well, it turns out the answer depends on who you ask. If I asked 10 people from different parts of the world how many continents there are, I'd get wildly different answers. And here's the thing, they'd all be right. So let's start with those rings. When the Olympics were first founded, they chose 5 rings for 5 continents: Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. No Antarctica, nobody actually lives there. Well, some scientists do, but they're not really the sporty type. And notice the Americas, not North and South, just the Americas. 1 continent. So the most watched event on Earth has been telling you there are 5 continents this whole time. And most of us never even noticed. Now, if you grew up in the United States, you learned 7 continents: North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. That's 7. Done. That's a fact, right? But if you grew up in Latin America, you probably learned 6. Because there, North and South America aren't 2 continents. They're 1. America. Connected by land, they are 1 continent. In parts of Europe, they also teach the 6-continent model, but for a completely different reason. They combined Europe and Asia into 1 continent, Eurasia, which if you look at a map, it kind of makes a lot of sense. It's 1 landmass. Some models teach 5, some teach 4. And every single one of these is what's being taught in schools right now. Not as opinion, but as fact. So if nobody can agree on the number, there must at least be a definition, right? Like there must be some set of rules for what makes a continent a continent. The thing is, there isn't. Seriously, there is no agreed upon scientific definition of the word continent. People assume it means a large landmass surrounded by water, okay? But Europe and Asia are connected. North and South America are connected, and Africa is connected to Asia by a tiny sliver of land at Suez. So what about tectonic plates? Well, India sits on its own plate, and is India a continent? Arabia has its own plate, and the Caribbean has its own plate. The thing is, there is no consistent rule that gets you to 7, or 6, or 5. Every criteria you try, it breaks. Here's what really got me. Take a look at this globe. Show me where Europe ends and Asia begins. The Ural Mountains. Okay, since when do mountains separate continents? The Andes run the entire length of South America, and they don't split that into 2 continents. The Rockies don't split North America. The Himalayas don't split Asia. So why did the Urals get to be a continental boundary? The answer to this has more to do with history and politics than geology, and I'll just leave it at that. You can draw your own conclusions. The map you grew up with didn't just show you the world. It told you how to organize it, how to categorize it, and most of us never even questioned it. Because why would you? It was right there in the textbook. But the next time someone tells you there are 7 continents, just know that's one answer, but it's not the only one. This is one reason that I love physical maps and globes. When you stand in front of one, you start seeing things that a quick Google search just wouldn't show you. You start asking questions you didn't know you had. If you want to see some for yourself, I'll leave a link to our shop below. Thanks for watching.